In this movie, we will see how to calculate probabilities given values or values given probability for a normal distribution. You should have read the section on normal distribution and be aware of how to standardize a variable, how to calculate z-scores. In this movie, we will see how we can do these calculations in JMP. So, for example, let's consider a problem where we are told that in an exam, the average score was 63 and the standard deviation was 5. So let's say we want to find the probability that a randomly selected student scored more than 65 on the exam. Now, to activate the JMP distribution calculator, we have to do a little workaround. So when you open up JMP, you will see this help menu. Click on the help menu. Here, let's click on sample data. Then we see a lot of these options open up here. Here, we will go to the open sample scripts directory. I'm going to click on here. Then it will show the various scripts that are available in JMP. We will go to interactive demos. And under interactive demos, we will see the distribution calculator, and we can just double click this. So this opens up the distribution calculator, which will help us look at probabilities or values for various distributions. For example, we have normal, t, chi-square, f variety of distributions. We will focus on the normal distribution. Now, instead of doing this every time you want to work with the distribution, there's a shorter way in which we can just pin this to our window. So if we look at our window, we see that here, because we had opened this, it gets populated here. So I can just pin this. So next time when I want to launch this, I can go back to my JMP home window and double click this, and it's going to launch the distribution calculator. So here again, going back to our problem, our question was that the mean test score was 63 and the standard deviation was 5. We want to find the probability that a student scored more than 65 on the exam. So we go to this distribution. We specify our mean, which is 63. Our standard deviation is 5. We want to find the value that the score is more than 65. So when we look at the area under a curve, we will get the value up to that. So that's the typical default. But JMP also lets us calculate 1 minus, so the area to the right of the value that we choose. So here we can click on more than, and we type in 65. So we get this area, and the probability is 34.4%. Now let's look at the second question. The second question says, find the probability that a randomly selected student scored less than 85. Now that's the typical calculation. We'll look at the area under the curve to the left of our z value. So we can click on this, and we want to find the probability that the score was less than 85. We can type in 85 here. And we get the probability the score was less than 85 was 1%, 100%, given the distribution of the scores. Now, let's look at another problem. Here, we are told that in the United States, in the ages 13 to 55 of smartphone users follows a normal distribution with the mean of 36.9 and a standard deviation of 13.9. We have to find the probability that an individual randomly selected would have an age between the ranges of 23 and 64.7. So here what we do is that we first find the probability that the age is less than or equal to 64.7. That will give us the area to the left of that. Then we can, from that, subtract the probability that the age is less than 23. That's going to give us the in-between area. So to do this problem, we have to do it in 2 steps in JMP. We can go to our distribution calculator. If we click on reset, this resets our example back to 0 and 1 to the standard normal. We can now input our values. Our mean is 36.9, and our standard deviation is 13.9. Our first value, that the highest value, will be 64.7. So we can just type in 64.7. 64.7. So the probability that a user sampled would have the age at least 64.7 is almost 100%. It's 0.9772. So now we will calculate the area to the left of 23, which is what our lower limit is. So here we can change the value to 23, and that gives us 0.1587. To find the in-between area, we subtract 0.1587 from 0.9771 that we initially got, and then our answer will be 0.8185. So we subtract the two, we will get that the probability is 81.85% that the user has an age between 23 to 64.7.